the place command, this is Dash. Dash came from Missouri. We're down in Florida. If you follow us, we get dogs from around North America. And Dash attacks people. That's his MO. And it's vicious. It's really nasty. He can be very, very nasty. So he bites people, doesn't like cancer on his head. He doesn't like to be told no. And he'll go after them, so he's attacked a couple people. Anyway, something to be aware of, because if I think he's going to attack me, things will look very, very different very quickly on my end, what I do. Keep that in mind. Whenever you work with aggressive dogs, you're always aware of that, and you need to respond. So Dash has been here for what? I think we're on day 7. I think he arrived last Monday, actually. And he now he can do place for up to 2 hours. So he didn't know place, now he knows place for up to 2 hours, which means he theoretically can do it for 4 hours. Why would you ever do that? Well, we're huge fans of the place command. The place command is the #1 household command that is a proactive as well as a reactive command. When your dog knows place and it knows to go to place and then settle in place, which is just learning. We've just started that part, which is that. Their state of mind becomes calm. The way we train is they also don't trigger on environmentals, meaning everything that happens in your house. Remember, we're family pet dog trainers. I've been talking about this a lot more lately, and I will continue, especially in this video. Don't be misled by sport dog, fancy, all this focused healing, all this spinning for your family pet dog. That doesn't mean they're not doing good work. It means you don't need that. That's not what you do, and it's not because we don't teach it, it's because you don't need that. When you're struggling with your dog, with lunging at the front door, jumping on people, separation anxiety, leash reactivity, resource guarding, aggression, barking nonstop, getting up on counters, getting in the dishwasher, knocking over grandma, knocking over the baby, getting in everybody's space. That's a separate category of family pet dog training. The place command, now, how can a dog do any of those things when they're in the place command? They can't. But we still address every one of those things. We still stop dogs from jumping on people. We still stop dogs from resource guarding. We still stop dogs from rushing the front door. We still stop dogs from all the bad behaviors. We don't use this as a replacement or as an excuse not to address those things. But he's already gone on 2 structured walks. He's not off leash with us yet, so he hasn't gone on any off leash runs. This week he'll be learning how to ride next to a bike. That's a separate category. His exercise program is separate. His household program is go there, lay down, and shut up. Right? Isn't that what dogs should be doing? No, believe it or not, they shouldn't be wandering around your house. They shouldn't be looking out the window. They shouldn't be chasing each other, chasing a cat, chasing your kids. They should actually just lay down and shut up. Because you have a backyard, and if you don't have a backyard, you can go for a walk, you can go for a bike ride, you can go for a run, you can go off leash. You do all those things. Anxiety, your dog doesn't need drugs. 99.99% of the dogs out there don't need drugs. They're on drugs, don't need drugs, by the way. 3 dogs in my career, 20 years, 10,000 dogs. I've recommended low quantity of drugs, and 50% of the dogs that we've worked with have been on drugs prior to training. We've got them all off. So I'm going to show you the place command. The place command is fantastic. It's wonderful. And it's not about the dog racing to it and then waiting for the next thing. It's about the dog going to it and going, I think I'm just going to chill, and I don't care about anything else. Because that's what we train for. We're family pet dog trainers, training for you to be successful with your dog in your home. Now, does this philosophy carry on at a cafe? You don't do place at a cafe, but you do down at a cafe, and our down command is the same thought process. Oh, so I'm with my owners, I'm at a cafe, I'll lie down and just not care about anything? Yeah, don't worry about it, just relax. That's why you can go places with us, because you're chill. How about the car ride? Don't I get to bark at things anymore? No, just lay down. It's all connected. It's all part of family pet dog training. It's not about the tools, it's about the philosophy. So, he's just started learning. Let's see what he's doing here. So, dash break. Good job. Place. Good. Dash here. Good boy. Place. No. He's just had a slip lead. That's it, basic slip lead. I work him with no leash, but right now, I'm just showing you it's not about the tools. But let's use a prong collar because that will make your life so much easier.
Yeah, let's take it back to the very
Okay.
beginning. Like,
So-
let's pretend he doesn't know place at all.
That's what I just said. Let's make your life so much easier. So much easier. We're gonna make your life. It's more complicated and harder for you to always be using, like, say, a flat buckle collar, a martingale collar, a slip lead, food. I want to make this so easy for you. I want you to win. I want you to be successful. And a prong collar is fantastic. But I want to show you that it's not going to be about the tools that do it. It's about the training. But we have to get the reps in. You need to get the reps in, and you need to be able to hold them accountable around distractions so he doesn't break. Or when he breaks, he knows that that's wrong. Because a lot of times people will say, I've been working on this for a couple of weeks, and I'm up to like 10 minutes. And I'm like, you should be up to 2 hours. Not because we can do it, but because you can do it. What's missing is your correction. And I'll show you what that looks like. Because he's been here for a week, so I can correct him now for breaking command, but I can't really correct him like that. Know that I just showed you now, that's really not a true correction. Break. So knowing that he doesn't like hands around his head, knowing that he attacks people when that happens, I'm having him come off of place before I put any other equipment on. It's a safety issue. He is really, really sketchy about all this stuff. Not about the prong collar, by the way. He gets sketchy about just hands around his head.
You know, just reaching for a collar or anything. That's what he's here for.
So pro tip, if you're a trainer or an owner, don't take this off until this is on, unless you have a loose dog. Which is, if you're in the house, it's not the worst thing, but if you're outside, it's dangerous. Or if it's a dog that bites people, and Joel's sitting down there, and Joel doesn't work with this dog yet, and Joel walks towards that dog, and the dog walks towards Joel, and Joel just stands up quick, that could be a bite. If she puts her hand out, that could be a bite. Like, all these things happen all the time. So, prong collar on. Green to Graduate shows the place command, as well as a lot of free videos that we have to do the place command. But I'll spend a little bit of time just showing you basics. The first thing you do is, am I out of frame? Am I in frame? Is just walk your dog onto whatever surface, raised surface. It could be a dog bed, it could be a raised surface like this, it could be a bath mat. I prefer something a little bit more than a bath mat or a towel though, a little bit raised, easily identifiable. Some dogs get sketchy with this. We had a shadow student a couple weeks ago that brought a dog. She had brought a lot of dogs, but a couple of the dogs that they put the brakes on. So the dog puts the brakes on, you eventually actually just drag them on there, believe it or not. You don't need to bribe them on there, you don't need to lure them on there, you just drag them on. It's fun. It's fun. People can ask questions too. You can ask questions. There's a Q&A. I'll spend a good amount of time with you today to make sure that everybody has a good grasp of this. Today is Monday. Believe it or not, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You could have a 1 hour place by Thursday, by Thanksgiving. You actually can. If your dog doesn't know place at all, you can have a 1 hour place by Thursday. If your dog does know place, but you're struggling, you can have a 4 hour place by Thursday. Then we'll talk about tiebacks. Then we'll also talk about, at Thanksgiving, put your dog away if you have to. It's probably one of the smartest things to do is you get a lot of people over your house, put your dog away. Even if it's not aggressive. It's not an aggressive conversation. It's a people feeding your dog the wrong stuff conversation. It's about your dog jumping on things. You talk to your dog stealing food, getting sick, knocking people over. Break. Good. So I'm going to walk around there one more time.
The reason Jeff's not using a word is because if you're starting from scratch, and let's say your dog is a little bit freaked out with the bed, like, oh, I don't know, we don't want to call it place until we know the dog is consistently going there without needing like leash pressure or things. So we don't want to name it until the dog loves it.
Right. Place is an English word.
Right.
Remember that.
We have to get the behavior first.
Right. Because just like Joel just said, let's say he does put on the brakes, or let's say he's sketchy about this and I say place, and he puts on the brakes, I'm teaching that place means put on the brakes. So this conversation where they understand what we're saying, they'll understand what I show them to do. We don't need to use words.
Will you real quick go over just leash pressure, basic leash pressure?
But, okay. Great. So for leash pressure, we'll go back a step. This is about all dog training. Most people keep too much tension on their leash because their dogs are out of control, right? You're always holding your dog back. Your hands are usually like this, or you're white knuckling it, or you're two-handing it. But you should be training pretty much like this. Instead of using the leash so much, learn how to use your body. Learn how to use space. But leash pressure, what's great about leash pressure is the learning happens when the leash is disengaged. Okay? So if I want my dog to go here, and if I do leash pressure, there's the opportunity to do, leash pressure, good. I let go of it as soon as he yielded to the pressure. If I want my dog to SIT, and if I go like this, good. And I release the pressure. Because if you hold it up like that while they're sitting down, you're false cueing the dog. They want you. That's your reward, that's your success right there. And you do the same thing for your down command as well. So one more time.
So if you're just starting out, most dogs will just sit on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually the goal is that they lay down, like Dash knows to lay down, and if he doesn't, Jeff can just use leash pressure to get him into the down. Most dogs will eventually just lay down. But if it's your very first session, don't worry about the down. Just take a sit for now.
Or in some dogs that are really bad, stubborn, they might not even sit. Don't worry about it. They will in 12 reps. And you saw how that was leash pressure. So some dogs that don't know leash pressure, when I go like that, they fight you. They will go like a bucking bronco. It's not the prong collar I got, by the way. They do it with martingales, flat buckle collars, and they do it with slip leads. It's not just the evil tools that makes dogs freak out. It's pressure. We get dogs that have never had anything around their neck, not even a flat buckle collar, not even a name tag. And they feel anything on their neck. Even sometimes you put a sweater on them, right? You dress them up, and that feeling freaks them out. Break. But even if we don't name any command, we start with break right away, and I use the leash to get them to break. So now I'll say place, and I walk them up to it. Okay. Good. I'll mark it with good. Don't have a party. This have a party, this jackpot, it's all bullshit, just to let you guys know. All this stuff is bullshit. You know why it's bullshit? Because y'all have done it and it didn't work, correct? You all can acknowledge that it's bullshit, or you wouldn't be here. That doesn't mean they're bad trainers. It just means most training is not designed for family pet dogs to be successful. It's not. It's just not. And I hate it. It bothers me a lot. That people are spending money and time and they're not getting what they thought they signed up for. Break. Good. Place. Notice how I walk up every time. Notice I sort of stay here.
The
Good.
reason we're not using food, Lori asked you don't use food when starting. Yes, we do. He doesn't take food.
Yeah. That's another thing. Stop using food.
Like you don't need to use
No.
food. If your dog's not super food motivated, don't use food. Just use leash pressure.
We use food, but I'm going to confidently say, just stop using food. That doesn't mean food is bad. Just stop.
He barely eats out of a bowl as it is. He's a very picky eater.
And I'll tell you why you should stop using food. Because you use it too long. Because you have a dog that knows the command. This isn't addressed to you. It's just We see this all the time. We see this with trainers, we see this with owners. You're 4 weeks into training on a basic command and you're still using food. 4 weeks. There's 168 hours in a week. You're still using food on something that you've done 100 times? And I'll tell you why it's not good to use. Because you tell the dog to sit, the dog looks at you like this, you reach in your pocket to get food, the dog sits. Whoa, that's not food training. That's not dog training. That's outright bribery. So stop using food. You don't need food.
And
Dogs
then
will train up just fine.
What we find too is like dogs that have only, because we get a lot of dogs that have already been through multiple trainers sometimes. They'll do great with food, and as soon as we take it away, they rear their ugly heads. They get
Dangerous.
They get dangerous because now you're using more leash pressure. You're being more demanding of them, and that's when owners say, "Oh, the training made the dog worse." It's like, no, it was always there. It was always there. We just revealed it, and that's why the dogs are coming to us.
Right.
Most people aren't sending their dogs to us. Oh, Dash just needs a really beautiful place in a downstay. It's like he literally bites people. So we need to get all of the assholery out. Like that is what he's here for.
Food hides flaws. Got it? That doesn't mean food training is bad, but food training for too long is actually really bad. It hides flaws. Look how great the dog's doing. I'm like, you've been training that dog for 6 months and you're still doing food stuff and luring? No, that doesn't help you. That does not help you. The dog should do it because it's been trained to do it. We're not doing fancy stuff. We're doing basic things. I've got to pay you to go to a dog bed and you've been training for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 2 years? Charlie, who we just got in, was 9.
This dog also too, remember, like, and if you guys have happy-go-lucky dogs, it's fine. Use food to build your foundation. There's nothing
But-
wrong with that.
Stop it.
But after like a week, once you start using corrections and stuff, like there's no need for food
You don't need
anymore.
it. That's the biggest lie in dog training is this never-ending food dispensary that trainers and owners are doing, and it appears your dog is trained, but it actually isn't. It knows a series of synchronized commands. And again, we use food.
Right. But this dog also, if you think about it, reaching towards him, he might try to bite you.
Right.
Even if food's in your hand. Like that is a trigger for him.
So you don't need it, just to let you know. You can train your dog just fine without food.
Alright, let's keep going.
Break.
We'll do a lot of Q&A, guys, but I wanna get through the
Place.
sequences.
So this is simple to do. We've got the Green to Graduate video, and I'll actually start showing you a correction soon.
Yeah, so he's 1 week in.
It's 1 week
We're
in.
technically correcting him now on leash
On leash.
for non-compliance.
Mhm.
1 week, that's it.
He started his e-collar training this week because, so for those of you that are following e-collar training, he's on the NCS level, non-compliant stim, on e-collar place, meaning if he steps off place and he feels stim at the working level, he goes back onto place. So just to let you know the progress we're making with Dash with the place command.
But for this training, he's only on leash.
So
We're
we're
not
gonna show
using
you.
e-collar, we're not gonna overcomplicate it.
Yeah. We'll just show you the basics. We'll show you how you get a 2-hour place command with a calm dog during this training. That's what we'll show you. Is there questions? You want to do questions as you go?
I wanna start
Great.
showing a little bit more
Great. Okay.
proofing.
So now I'll start showing you. So let's say you've done this on day 1, day 2. You've done this. You get to the point where place, when your dog absolutely goes to the place bed. That's another thing the owners aren't good. The owners are not doing is not keeping a leash on their dog. Please keep a leash on your dog. But yeah, not just during training. Keep a leash on your untrained dog that doesn't listen to you in the home. Keep a leash on your dog when you are there. So you can train your dog all the time doing stuff. So I can do things such as, Dash, here, good job, down. Good. Small little recall to a down. And if he didn't, I could have grabbed the leash and given a leash pop because he knows down now. Because again, he's on week 2. So week 1, no corrections, even with a leash. Week 2, we start our corrections. And then I can go from here to there. Place. And I can walk him over here, give him a little bit of help.
if they chew the leash or think it's a toy, you need to correct them for that. That's all silly nonsense games. Bonk.
So notice I just did a little bit of leash pressure. Your dog is chewing the leash. It's okay. I just want you to know, we train family pet dogs, just like yours. The dog you have at home, I have worked with. Thousands of times I've worked with your dog. No dog chews the leash here. No dog treats the leash like a leash. Now, they might try to on day one.
You know who is a bad leash chewer? Poppy, who's actually here right now.
A bonker, which is fantastic. You're chewing the leash, you would say no. You don't yell at the dog, no, and bonk. You deploy this, that was about a -1 out of 10. You deploy it at 10 for chewing the leash. Just to let you know. They will not have a bad association with the place bed or with you, but what they'll stop doing is chewing the leash and they'll respect the word no. So the reason why your dog is chewing the leash is because you never stop it from chewing the leash, and the dog gets your attention. Stop, don't do that. And then you start playing with the leash. Now you're playing tug with the dog. It's all fun to the dog. It's all fun. You'll say leave it, and then you'll reward. Oh, so if I chew the leash, and then my owner comes over and says leave it, I get paid? I think I'll chew the leash more. We've seen this all the time. Break. So now you saw how I even did a little bit of a recall to a down, and then from down I went to place, and you saw how I used my body. You could be doing that too. By the way, this would be a training session. We'd go on for a little bit longer, but it could be a training session. Place, and by the way, when we're done with that training session, say it was only 30 minutes today. So now watch. Now, that would be a small correction. No, you should lie down and then a pop, not a pull. That would be considered a small correction. A big correction, you'll know what it is because it'll be very firm, which I'm not going to do on week 2. He tries to bite me, it's a different thing. When would I give a big correction? If he barks at the front door. If he growls at Angelo or Joelle or anybody else in this house. If he growls at one of the other dogs, there's no dogs in this room right now. That would be a very firm correction. And I'm not mad, or I'm not upset, and I'm not angry. It would just be no and boom. That's why I also like the e-collar, because I can use the e-collar for moments like that as well. But with him, you have to be careful because that no pop makes him want to sort of bite you. Not because it's a prong collar, not because it's a correction. It's because your kid told you to fuck off when you told him to give him chores. And you say, do it now. And your kid, who's never been given responsibilities before, said, fuck you, Mom.
He does not like being told.
Got it? It's your teenager with an attitude. It's not the tools. It's so important. So important.
That's when a lot of his bites have happened, when he's like,
Didn't want to do something.
didn't want to do something and they try to make him. So then he bites and it works because then they stop.
Break. Good. So now I can also do sit. Good. Down. Good. Place. Good.
Start some proofing.
Little routines like that.
So Jeff's been doing this for like a week. So now that we're entering week 2, this is when we start all of our proofing. We need to make sure he can hold place, not for just 5 minutes or an hour. It's like you need to hold it for multiple hours around high levels of distraction. So start with like things that you know people are gonna do. Oh my God, hi. Oh.
So what I can start doing is this. It's called proofing. It's not teasing, it's proofing. Yes, it is setting the dog up for failure, so you can teach the dog that breaking command is wrong. So anytime you hear a trainer or a organization or an expert or a book or an article or a blog post or a video say setting the dog up for failure is wrong to do. Angelo's homeschooled, and he has a lot of chores. So, Angelo, clean your room. Papa, you don't have to tell me that anymore. Okay, fine. I won't tell you that anymore. By the way, I don't have to tell him that anymore. Tomorrow, I won't tell him that anymore. I'll take a chance. He doesn't clean his room. So I set him up for failure, correct? That's setting your kid up for failure, not reminding them to do something. And they don't do it, they failed. Stop always, let your child, let your dog actually decide if they're going to do something or not. So I'm going to, no. That's the nastiness that we talked about.
Yep.
Got it? That's the nest. Now, did I make the dog aggressive? The dog has numerous bites on humans prior to coming here. I did not. I'm exposing it, and I need to expose it because he bites people at daycare where they don't correct dogs. He just wants to do what he wants to do. We just reveal it. It's important to reveal it so you can address it. Good. Dash, 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 dash. Good. So none of those are, that's not teasing either. Oh, but you shouldn't say the dog's name. Why not? Dash is not a command. Dash, dash, dash is not a command. Hey, sweetheart, that's not a command. Is not a command. Break is a command. Sit is a command. Down is a command. Dash, 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 dash is not a command. Is not a command. Place is a command. Hey pretty, hi honey, how are you? You're so pretty. Is not a command. Got it?
Who's here?
Is not a command. Therefore, lay there, be quiet. Or, no, correct. That's how you get a 4-hour place. That's how you get a 2-hour place. That's how you get a 1-hour place. That's how you get a place when everybody's coming in. Now what you can do is, if you don't want to stand here all day, break. This spot right here, place, which is a great spot for a place bed where it normally is for one of the dogs. No. This is called a tie back or tie out. This is just a leash wrapped around this piece of furniture with a little carabiner because Joel doesn't allow me making holes in the wall. This, we have had a dog drag this across the room.
We have more weights on it now, though.
But it's a little bit heavy now. So this now allows the dog to go to break command, but not to, I don't know if you can see it at the door here, but. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, practice your doorbell drills a lot before people come over. Don't wait until the guests arrive, you guys. That is the worst thing to do.
Okay. So
Order
that-
lots of Amazon this week.
Mhm.
Or have friends and family, neighbors. You start doing
Everything.
your doorbell drills.
Everything. So this is how you now utilize your tiebacks. This is how you start proofing. Hey Dash, hey. No. Now, notice how my no stopped him in his tracks and he went backwards. Now, he's supposed to get a correction after that, but I'm doing it, I'm showing now. But that should have been no. He went back, and even with him going back, I could have given him a leash pop. But notice how the no is effective. Week 2 of training, he just started learning no. So now, I have a dog that will hold command, stay in one spot. I'm proofing, hey Dash, hey honey, hey sweetheart, hi sweetheart. Doing distractions. My no, whoa, oh, you're right, I wasn't supposed to. I'll go back. Jeff, what if my dog is fearful? Who gives a shit? Doesn't matter. Training's the same. What if my dog is nervous? Who gives a shit? Doesn't matter. Training's the same. What if my dog is aggressive? Doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? Training's the same. I say this because stop making so many excuses, please. I know I'm talking to you like a child because This takes 5 minutes to train, 1 week to proof. By week 4, 1 month, you should be getting 4-hour downstay, 4-hour place, with every possible distraction. By the end of week 1, with minimal distractions, normal ones, TV goes on, kids come in the room, other dogs here, other cats here, normal household stuff, it's the end of your night. A lot of people aren't coming to your house, you other than maybe your friends. Dogs here will hold place for hours in 1 week. 1 week. We do it here all the time. And all we're doing is this basic thing.
So here's a good question. There's a couple ways we get very creative when we're inviting dogs here. If he was super dangerous, we'd have a muzzle on, but like we kind of know his triggers at this point, so it's not like it's going to be a random bite.
What's the question?
But how would you correct with a leash pop while he's tied out without getting bit?
I can have a second leash on the dog.
Right.
So I can have a leash that I use just for correcting.
Longer.
I could do this.
That way, if he lunges at you, he technically wouldn't be able to reach if Jeff's a certain length away.
I'll demo for you right now. So, actually the visual though, I'm gonna put this on the ground. I want this on the ground. Because believe it or not, dogs know when you're holding a leash.
The biggest thing is getting your no in.
Right.
As long as you use a marker, right? Let's say Dash steps off place. No, you have time to now go pick up the leash and deliver your leash correction.
I'll hold on to it just so I can show it clearly if he breaks. Hey Dash, hi honey, hey sweetheart, hey Dash, what's up buddy?
He's already figuring it out.
Hey, what's up honey? But I would be able to get my NO and then pop. And I probably would just do a pop this way. So there's no need for, because he can still get to me here. This is not just always a dangerous dog conversation, it's just a general, it's just ease of delivery of a consequence conversation. So this is a great setup actually, this slip lead for the tie back and then this for out here. But if you're an owner and you've got a dog that is dangerous, there's a bigger conversation that we have here about like how to actually rehab your dog. And yes, your dog should be fitted with a muzzle, a Baskerville muzzle, to make sure that you can go into your dog. But if you've got a dangerous dog, we have a much bigger conversation to be having. Don't work around the aggression. In other words, like we're gonna have to go to that toe-to-toe with the dog. And that's where you might wanna get our help personally. We do boarding trainings down here in Florida. We have 3 different transport companies. There's many more, but we have 3 that we know of. People are transporting their dogs from all over North America. That means Canada as well. So, and we got openings whenever. But anyway, I'm not doing this to sell you stuff. I'm just saying, please get help, finally. What else?
My dog knows place but breaks once I'm out of sight for a couple of seconds.
Bingo. So what do? That's where your remote collar will greatly help you. But have you done intensive proofing insight? So every trigger you can think of. Dancing around the room, knocking on doors, hugging your partner, having the kids run around, do jumping jacks, knocking on the door, making kissing noises, working another dog in the same area, giving a dog, have you worked your dog intensely that way? You have to find a way to correct your dog while you're in the room first. Okay? So you have to find something to make your dog break command just so you can get that no correction in like you just saw me do. But you don't want to get a couple of those in. Then disappear from the room for a split second. And then if your dog breaks, no, walk over to your dog, correct your dog.
Everyone thinks that like, oh, I wasn't there so I can't correct. That's such a lie. As long as you say no, which you could be peeking around the corner, no, you have time. Or what happens is maybe the dog is smart and they'll run, oh, I heard no, I'm gonna run back to the bed and avoid the correction. You can still correct them even though they went back to the bed. Because then what happens is the dog becomes correction wise and they're like, oh, your no just becomes a warning. They're like, oh, I'll run back to the bed and I'll avoid the correction. And then owners are not following through. So now your no is watered down. Dog doesn't take it seriously. You're telling your dog no 50 times a day when really it's look at how quick he learned no. What was it, 2 corrections? And he's not breaking anymore. Like your dog should take your no very seriously.
Should be holy shit. So that's how you do it. So we do that. So just to let you know, again, we do the same thing. So your situation is not unique. We also disappear from rooms as well. We'll have 4 dogs out here. We'll walk out of a room, and dogs could break, and if they do, we do exactly what we just told you. What else?
Would you recommend shaping and proofing sit first, then develop and shape the place?
You can teach sit in 3 seconds though. So sit is just a leash pop up. Don't use the word shape. Don't use the word shape. Train. You don't need to shape, just train. No, just do leash pressure. Do leash pressure. That takes 3 seconds to do. So you can if you want to, but you don't need to. It takes seconds though. Like, I actually want you to skip that, just because I don't want you to focus on sit. But sure, you can train sit, down, but we're talking about, that's the first 5 minutes of training would be sit. So now let's talk about what's really the problem. We can take a dog that doesn't know sit, and it will take us no longer to teach place than you just saw now. But if you want to, you can. But I don't want you to make excuses to not be successful in this. So we don't teach a formal sit. We expect dogs to sit. Most dogs know even a half-ass sit. If your dog knows a half-ass sit, start correcting them for not sitting. For instance, break. Let's say your dog knows sit, but is a selective listener. Okay, break. Sit. No. Did it too slow. Pretend he didn't do it at all. He just knows sit though. So break. Sit. No. There you go. That's how you teach sit. No pop. If the dog already knows it, but it doesn't do it, it only does it for food, or if it's slow, or if it's selective, immediately go to no pop. Immediately, like right now, this second. As soon as you get off of this. Break. Break. Sit. Down. It's into it down. He had to learn down. So he knew it selectively, but he had to learn it that he does it every time. Place.
Once on place, my dog will whine incessantly. Also, he will get half off when I turn my back, and then when I turn around, he runs back to place.
Okay,
That's
so-
such a common thing.
So nobody has a dog worse than Charlie.
But that's why we're big on get your no in and correct anyway.
So Charlie was just here for 6 weeks. Nobody in the history of dogs has a dog that whines more than Charlie.
No, I think he
2 decades.
He takes the cake.
Nobody, and I have worked with thousands of whining dogs. Nobody has a dog worse than Charlie. I guarantee it. Charlie can do 4 hours of place with no whining. How do we do it? Apply a punisher to whine.
Bonker is usually good for
Bonker is great. Leash, it is a firm consequence. Stop teaching the quiet command with a food reward. It turns into a, let's see, I'd like a snack. Oh, I'll stop whining. Oh, and I get paid? Right? We've all seen that. No, you whine, it sucks to whine. Oh, maybe something's wrong with the dog. Nothing is wrong with the dog. Could something be wrong? 1 in a million, sure. But I'll tell you why nothing's wrong with the dog. This is why nothing's wrong with the dog. Because I was sitting here for 2 hours and you're not whining, and I stand up and I walk away and you're whining. That's not medical, that's behavioral. Therefore, nothing's wrong with the dog other than a behavioral problem. So you correct that. The dog gets halfway off, that means that you have to apply your punisher. The thing that is missing from every single person's family pet dog training program for non-compliance, for half-assery, for being an asshole, is applying a punisher. Every single thing. So that's why it's important to teach your dog what no means. There's a lot of questions, it seems like. What else? Let's go through some quick
Seems
round.
like the whining is a big one, and some people are saying e-collar doesn't help.
No,
We know, guys.
No, we know.
E-collar usually doesn't. That's why we're saying use a bonker.
So, with a
Use
bonker,
a bonker. It's
say
great for state of mind.
Say I had a whining dog. No. Walk up to the dog. Boom, bonk. You want anything else you can do? With a slip lead. Grab your slip lead. Put a slip lead on your dog. Dog's whining. No. Hold up the slip lead. It's not pretty. Whining is annoying.
It's also a terrible state of mind.
It's a terrible state of mind. Most dogs live in a state of anxiety, and they do not need medication. Because they whine, it's predictable when they whine, correct? They always whine what? When you leave the room, or when they want something. That's not a medication. Your dog doesn't need medication for that. But we see whining. We stop whining cold. One of Joelle's biggest triggers, if you ever want to see her on a rampage.
That's not true.
on a
I have PTSD, honestly, from Charlie.
No, this is pre-Charlie.
Now that he's gone home, I'm like, I still hear Charlie
No,
whining.
if you want to see her on a rampage, have a whining dog anywhere within 500 feet of this house, and she will go nuts. So we don't allow whining in this house because it's also a bad state of mind. We know it's a bad state of mind. What else?
What do you do for a working dog that is strong, stubborn, and resistant to corrections?
There's no such thing as resistant to corrections. I've worked with working dogs. I've worked with sport dogs, now in sport. I've worked with law enforcement dogs, now in law enforcement. The training's the same. You just need to find that works. They're all capable of doing it. Every one of them. So it might be a bonker, it might be a squirt bottle, it might be a slip lead held up, it might be a firm leash pop. They all train up I've worked with every category of dog on these basics, and every dog is excelled. It's not fancy stuff that we're doing here. It's normal household stuff. So your sport dog, your Malinois, your Dutch Shepherd, your Rottie, your German Shepherd, all can do 4 hours in place without any exercise that day. Just to let everybody know. They're not being shut down. That's a lie that the internet's trying to push on you. Just to let you know. Next.
Well, he's a husky too, and everyone likes to say huskies can't be
Yeah,
trained.
but whatever dog it is, your dog can learn how to do this. We're talking about simple household stuff here.
Is he yawning a lot because he's anxious or nervous?
No. Nope. All this yawning, all this body language stuff, he's yawning because he yawns all the time. He's in his kennel, he yawns. He's on a walk, he yawns. He's in place, he yawns. He's driving in a car, he yawns. Why? Dogs yawn. That's another lie out there that everybody always responds to is the dog is yawning, he's stressed. They focus on that and they don't focus. People focus on that, meanwhile their dog is not trained. People focus on, this is not against you. Nothing is against any of you. We hear these things constantly. Yes, it seems like I'm angry. You know what I'm angry at? I'm angry at the lies that every pet dog owner this is free. I'm not going to sell you anything. I'm angry at the lies that family pet dog owners are being fed about body language and all this other stuff. And it's like, no, he's yawning because dogs yawn. It doesn't mean he's stressed, anxious, nervous, fearful. Another lie that's being told is, you're fearful, dog. That's why he's biting. No, he's not fearful. Next.
How do you respond to your dog when it's constantly barking when the doorbell goes? Saying quiet isn't working for me.
Okay. I've already gone over this, and I'll go over it again. You don't respond. You do respond. You apply a punisher to your dog.
Bonker's good for that too.
No is an English word. It has zero meaning. Quiet is an English word. It has zero meaning. What's the consequence after that? My mother told me, Jeff, be home by midnight or you'll get grounded. I got home at 2 a.m. and I went out whenever I wanted to after that.
She never gave you a consequence?
Empty words. I'm 60 years old, there was no cell phone. So imagine, 45 years ago. So it's important, your dog can shut up. Every dog, so if I came to your house, after the first session, your dog would stop barking at doors, just to let you know. Now, you'd have to keep up with that, but in 1 week, you'd have a handle on that. Okay, next.
What about when some people, like older people, can't do a firm enough leash correction?
That's where e-collar comes in very handy. But at least teach no with something. Now, it doesn't always have to be a firm. How about if your dog doesn't like a squirt bottle? Some dogs don't like shaker cans. I'm not a big fan of shaker cans because they can freak out every dog in the house. They're also annoying, frankly. But you have to figure out some punisher. That's why we like an e-collar, though, because that can leverage somebody that is either a softer owner, which pretty much shouldn't have a pushy dog anyway, or somebody that's not very the elderly or a child who's not strong enough to give a firm correction. But that correction that I gave Dash was about a 1 or 2 out of 10. That was not a firm correction. It was believable though, because I corrected him on some great stuff. I corrected him for trying to get out of a door too fast ahead of me. Not that he's ahead of me. Dogs are allowed to go ahead of me when they're told. So I corrected him on some other things. What else?
Does place always have to be taught on a raised bed like that?
It should be on a identifiable surface, or else it's not place. It's about go to place. The good thing about a raised surface or any surface, I can do it on this. I can do it on this as well. I can do it on this. It has to be identifiable. If not, it's a down. But the great thing about having an identifiable surface is you can send the dog to place from across the room. So if you saw Charlie's go home, if you saw Buddy's go home, if you saw Ruse go home, we'd send them to place from, I don't know, 25 feet away. What else?
A lot of people asking e-collar questions, but that's not really what we're focusing on.
But it's okay,
right
but you
now,
can ask
guys.
them. Ask them.
So if you start on their working level for breaking and then go up if they continue to break.
We have a
That's what I mean. It's we have whole courses on this. It's
So do you want me to?
it's more nuanced.
Do you want me to not answer it or change general philosophy on that, or?
I just don't want people thinking
Just
that they can just shock their dogs.
Right, okay.
It doesn't work
So-
that way.
We have got a 4-step program on our e-collar training. We have something called NCS and then punishment. We don't get to punishment until, which would be a higher level, until they've been proofed on the e-collar. I'm trying to teach people now on, if you want, Joelle, maybe we'll schedule another one of these in a week, 2 weeks. I will do e-collar place. If you want, we can always do that. I can go over all the different levels, or maybe not. We have it in the course, in the Green Graduate course. What else?
Let's see. It's a lot of questions. I'm trying to make sure I get all of them.
If you want to do the laundry list, just go through the list.
How do I handle a dog that stays in place but is waiting attentively for the next command?
Okay, that's one of the biggest issues. Most likely you're doing more sport-like training, or this high with food. Are you using food? Stop using food. Teach the settle command, which he has not started yet. But you can start doing the settle command. Again, family pet dog training, not performance stuff, not sports stuff. You don't want a dog to do this. Do more duration work. The biggest thing is duration. 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour. But you can actually train a dog to put its head down. We do that with low-level remotes. We have videos in our community on it's called the double down or the settle command. Next.
Someone said, you totally describe my dog and myself with going off place. I say no, she runs back, lays down, and watches me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just take that one comment. Please understand, I've been doing this for 20 years, 10,000 dogs. It's full-time. I don't have any other job, by the way, okay, except for being a loving partner to Joelle. Other than that, and a wonderful father to Angelo. Other than that, this is my life. I've seen your dog. That's why I can describe your dog to you. This sounds really cocky, as a lot of the stuff that I say does. People are like, you don't know my dog. I'm like, actually, I know your dog better than you do. Because there's only so many dog behaviors out there and dog personalities out there, and I've seen them all. I've seen them all. Any good dog trainer that has a lot of decades of experience, that does a lot of family pet dog training, has seen them all. When you get dogs, say you're an agility trainer. This is not a knock on agility trainers. As an agility trainer, though, you usually only see one type of dog, not one breed of dog, but one type of dog categorically go through your program. Let's say you do sport training. You historically only see one type of dog go through your program. As a family pet dog trainer, we see it all.
Okay, hold on real quick. Everybody look at Dash right now. Notice how he went from when we started the session, panting and yawning, to then he was just sitting there. Now his head's down, eyes are getting heavy. He's eventually gonna fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how we get calm on command, quote unquote, is duration work. That's the magic.
He's only gone
Literally
on,
duration work.
he's only gone, by the way, he's only gone on 2 15-minute walks today. That's it.
And we've been on here for 51 minutes.
Yeah, that's it.
Look, he's shutting his eyes.
That's
He's
all
gonna
we-
fall
that's all we
asleep
got, yeah,
soon. And we're 1 week into training.
Please, I exercise, I own a Malinois, but I don't exercise him 3 hours a day, even 2 hours a day. That's a lot. By the way, people just need to teach how to be calm. Why? Because unless you're out running around for 8 hours a day, unless you're out there backpacking or hiking for 8 hours a day, most of you have jobs or lives or hobbies or kids or activities and things to do. You could own a mountain lion, only exercise it for an hour and a half a day, but you need to teach how to behave inside of a house. Also, stop with your damn snuffle mats. Stop with your brain games. Stop with all of your enrichment activities. That doesn't mean they're bad, but your dog doesn't need those things. It doesn't need to always be kept occupied
And aroused.
and aroused.
It keeps them very aroused.
Oh,
yeah.
ooh, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ah, ah. Oh, what's this? What's this? What's this? Oh my God, I got all the food from that. What else can I start scratching at and sniffing and licking and eating?
Mm-hmm.
No, again, they're not that they're bad, it's that they're not. Everybody, if you're doing this, then you can do that. But everybody's doing that, but they're not doing this, and that's why you're struggling.
How does one safely correct a 4-pound tiny breed where when the slightest amount of pressure that is too strong can hurt their neck? Always looking for a punisher for him. I poke his side and he goes into submission. Good enough?
Good.
That's fine.
A little finger poke, get a washcloth. A washcloth bonker, get a squirt bottle. Anything that the dog doesn't like, what's important is the no. You can train the damn dog in a harness if you want to. No finger poke, no little bonker. Anything to make the dog go, ah,
Yeah,
that's
you
not.
can use like a washcloth as a
Yeah.
bunker.
Yep, yeah, but you don't need to use e-collar, prong collar, you don't need to use even a leash.
What age can you start using a bonker?
8 weeks
8
old.
weeks. It's in our puppy course.
8 weeks
You
old.
have to stop the puppy biting, the jumping, the barking, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what does my dog do when I'm not training place?
I don't know, what's your life like?
Well, we're big on dogs shouldn't just be walking around the house if they're not trained. So when we're not working Dash, he's in his kennel.
Okay, here's a good, these are born trained dogs, but I'll give you an example. What time is it, Joelle?
Almost 5.
Okay, almost 5 o'clock. I am in charge, I do the family meals. So I will be making dinner soon. What I will be doing is preparing dinner. We're having curry beef tonight, by the way, with fresh made tortilla shells. Making those out of the grill. Making dinner, eating dinner, cleaning up dinner. The dog will be in place the whole time. Today, this morning, the dog was in place for 2 hours. We went on walks, we did training sessions. What's the dog do when it's not in place now? Let me ask you that question. What does your dog do now at the end of the day, if it is the end of the day, between the hours of 5 and 9 p.m., what does your dog normally do? Walk around the house? Why? Why isn't it in place? Get into trouble? Does what it wants? Why not just tell it what to do? Walking around your house is not enrichment. It's practicing bad behaviors. Right? What do dogs do when you're not doing stuff? They do nothing. They do nothing. They can go in a kennel and lay there. They can go there and lay down. Angelo just finished his piano practice. He's homeschooled. Guess what he's doing right now? He's outside sitting on a couch reading a book. In other words, I don't have to entertain him. He could be, if you want to go swimming, he can go swimming. He can find an activity he wants to, or he can just be calm. Not the best example. Better example is stop feeling bad about your dog doing nothing. Everybody thinks their dog is supposed to be doing something, and that's another lie you've been fed. You've been fed to by the Garmin industries, the outdoor excursion industry, you've been by the toy industry, by the treat industry, by the chew-boing industry, by the drug companies. You're all being lied to. All to get money from you, and what's being forgotten is just basic household training. What else?
Sabrina, my ADHD is making me ask this. Is that a half tree or is it distorted from the camera? No, that's my tiny pencil tree. It is that skinny because big Christmas trees we don't have room for.
Mm-hmm.
My tiny tree.
Hmm.
Let's see. Lori said, doesn't your Mal need to run? Yeah, he runs 3 to 5 times a day.
Yeah, but
Extremely
hold on.
hard.
But guess what though? For 10 minutes each
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
That's it. He goes on a bike ride, which is 10 minutes. He plays Chuck It, which is 10 minutes. He goes on a couple of walks, But that's it. No, I've trained my Mal to learn to live in a family home. That doesn't mean, yes, males need exercise, but you've been lied to though. Everybody thinks males need 3, 4, 5, 6, you have to get into tracking. No, you don't if you don't want to. You can actually teach your high drive dog how to be calm unless you're doing driving stuff.
Yeah. Definitely fulfill his, I mean, he
Yeah,
runs
of course.
hard.
But
he runs
does-
extremely
but
hard, but
he doesn't need he doesn't, we live on 1/8 of an acre. Like, we don't go on a 1-hour bike ride. I go on a 10-minute bike. I go around the block. I don't have to, I never run him to exhaustion. He doesn't need to. He knows how to be calm. And he's been like that since I've owned him for 7 years.
what about access to toys during non-training time?
If you want to, but it serves no purpose. Other than they destroy them and you've got to buy more. I'm not against toys.
We're big on, if you're gonna do toys, make it a training or a play session with you.
Yes, with you.
Like, our dogs don't just randomly play with toys.
Nope.
They'll only engage with toys if we're playing
We're
with
playing
them.
with it. So you play fetch. Having toys,
Tug,
having
things
toys around your house. Why? Because you've been sold a bill of goods by the manufacturers. You've been sold a bill of goods by Petco and Petland and the dog companies and Amazon. The dogs don't need a basket of toys. Get a ball, throw the ball, they get it, they bring it back, have them down, have them do some impulse control, throw the ball, get a tug, play tug. But this concept that they need toys, why? So they can rip them up to get the little squeaker, and then you have to buy another one? No. This whole, oh, I get a package every month filled with toys. What a waste of fucking money. And if I'm coming across as an asshole, it's because owners are prioritizing the wrong stuff. The wrong stuff.
But you guys will find, like, once you start training your dog and, like, building this, I don't know, even how to say it, like, this different relationship with them where they respect you and you become very important to them. Most dogs don't even want to go play by themselves.
They don't want toys.
They're like, I want to engage with you.
Yeah.
Like, you are my everything now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, if I just threw toys around, none of our dogs would pick them up. If we open a door, they don't run out. They literally look at us like, are you gonna come too?
Right.
Like, because you become the center of your dog's world when you put these protocols in place. You become very important to them.
But if we tell our dogs to go outside, they'll go outside and they'll lay down. So it's not that they need to be biased and they don't have separation anxiety. What it means is they're capable of just chilling. That's been trained. We didn't get lucky. And we do that, by the way, we do that with every client dog. Every client dog. Like by the end of a boarding train, the last 2 weeks of a boarding train, dogs are hanging out with me by the pool. Just chilling, literally just chilling. Not because they're tired.
He's so close to falling.
I want folks to know how much you've been lied to by this industry.
When my dog is not on place, he simply follows me around, checks what I'm doing, then lays down and chews on his bone on his bed.
Okay, instead, just have him go on his bed and chew his bone. Right? He doesn't have to follow you around. He doesn't need to see what you're doing. And remember, it's not the worst thing in the world that he does that. But it could lead to other issues. Separation anxiety, guarding of you. I'm not opposed to a dog following me around. I find it a pain in the ass. Like, are you checking up on me? I don't need the dog to do that. But if you want to, that's fine. Next.
My 11-month-old Burner goes in his kennel when I work from home, but then I feel bad he's in his kennel for a long time, but clearly he's fine.
Wait, she works from home?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you do place command instead? Do the place command.
But also, don't feel bad if he's kennel.
Yeah,
It's no
don't feel
big
bad.
deal.
But just
Because he'd be sleeping somewhere in the house anyway, most likely.
But you can do place with a tie back.
Mhm.
Yeah, you do place with a tie.
If you get your dog e-collar trained, Desiree, then you don't even have to leave your desk. If he gets off place, you use the remote collar.
Mhm.
It can be a totally silent conversation.
But-
That's why we love e-collars.
But your dog's probably not going to replace.
Right. But there's a lot of owner guilt about craving.
Huge.
I get it, guys, but your dog's gonna just go lay down somewhere anyway. And if not, they don't have the right to free roam. God forbid your dog ate something while you were at work and died. Like, that is my biggest fear.
Mhm.
I crate for peace of mind.
Mhm.
I never want to walk into my dog dead on the floor because it ate something that I could have 1,000% prevented from just crating them.
Right. Now, our dogs are not in crates right now, but they've earned that right. It's been,
But they're old.
it took a long time to get them to that point. But I've owned dogs that they've been crated till they died. They didn't die in a crate from being crated too long, meaning of old age, but they were crated. Why? Because I couldn't trust them, and I'm smart, and I don't feel bad because I do enough for them. What else?
Mine likes to get up from laying down on place or in the crate and spin around for a bit before laying down pretty frequently, sometimes even once every minute or few minutes. Is that something you would correct? Or is
Yeah.
that fine?
Yeah, that's excessive. That's
Yeah,
excessive.
that's too
The dog can't settle. The dog mentally can't settle, and you're seeing it with a physical motion. But we get dogs like that. We actually correct that. Charlie, by the end of Charlie's boarding training, with a 4-hour place command, he would get up maybe once, maybe twice, and you can tell he would just get up like this and sort of. I left that alone. But compared to like every minute, absolutely. Dog doesn't need to do it. Something's going on upstairs where they can't relax. They need to do that, but that can be trained through this. You actually can control that. You can control that.
Becky said you should sell a bark box of commands.
No, nope. I'm not selling anything to you. Other than your dog can come down to a boarding train. And we got an online. If you're not part of our online community, it's a game changer for everybody. It is a game changer.
Everything's going on sale tomorrow, by the way. It's
Oh,
Black
shit,
Friday.
is it really?
Yeah, Black Friday starts tomorrow.
Maybe I am selling something. What am I selling?
Well, Black Friday starts tomorrow, so it's gonna be like half off everything.
Oh,
Literally everything, the community too.
oh, okay. I'm sorry, I misspoke. I am going to sell you something. Go to what do they do? Go to Solid Canine Academy?
Solid Canine Academy. We'll send emails too, obviously.
Yeah, go to solidcanineacademy.com. Plus, you can get emails.
Because the emails are what's gonna have like the codes and stuff that you need to use, like the discount codes.
And if
It's
you
like
want
the
to,
only time of year we ever run sales. So.
if you want to do a boarding train, I will. If you have to transport your dog with a transport company down here, I'll actually help you out with that financially by reducing the cost of your boarding train. Just to let you know. And I'm only doing 18 spots for 2026 for boarding train. 18 spots for boarding train for 2026. That's it. I'm only doing a couple dogs at a time. I'm enjoying my life. Enjoying my life.
A lot of these questions, like jumping, digging, like e-collar is going to be your go-to for all that, guys.
What's the question?
How to stop jumping, and then another one is how to stop the dog from
So
digging.
I got a free video on YouTube, how to stop jumping. We have a 100% success rate stopping jumping, almost 100% after the first session, just to let you know. In other words, dogs don't jump on us other than maybe the day they come in. Maybe the day they come in, a dog jumps on us for a boarding train. After that, they never jump on us, ever. And we don't tell them to sit to prevent them from jumping on us. They know not to jump on us. Digging, e-collar correction for digging.
Julie said, don't forget to mention your owner shadow program. We did forget.
So
Thanks, Julie.
You can bring your dog down here for 5 days, 3 hours a day. Bradenton, Florida is by the ocean. It's beautiful here. We're on the Gulf side. It's 85 degrees today and sunny. Come down here for 5. We have fantastic restaurants. You can get a Airbnb with a pool that's dog friendly. Bring a friend with a dog as well. Come down here for 5 days, 3 hours each day with your dog. Your life will change. Not just with training. Your whole life will change.
Here's a good question. What's an appropriate amount of time to leave a 1.5-year-old dog in a crate? Sometimes my errands take up to 4 hours, and I've been reluctant to do that for so long. I'm usually home, so never needed to crate, but this guy needs crating when I'm gone.
So not only what you can do is 6 hours of errands. You can have a social life. You can do activities. You can date, whether you're single or married. You go on a date with your spouse. You can live your life 6 hours easily. Anyone that says that's mean is clueless about the realities of owning a dog. They're trying to guilt you and shame you. They don't live in reality. They don't live in reality. Always remember that. Always remember that.
Jamie said that sounds like something I would be very interested in. The owner shadow. Yeah, it's a good time.
It is. But bottom line is this: just if you're interested in, then do it. Then do it. It's not cheap, but you can finance it. It's a few $1,000s just to put it out there, but your life will change dramatically. Dramatically. If you have a brand new dog that doesn't know anything, don't do it. If you got a dog with behavioral problems, do it.
All right, we gotta wrap this up soon. Lynn says greeting and peeing. How to stop? Oh, like excitement peeing.
Okay. Well, here's a good example. Somebody walks in your house. Okay. Somebody walks in the house. Dogs like that. It's not peeing. Why? Because you're controlling the excitement level. Right now, stop having it. Do I keep going out of frame? My hand keeps.
No, you're still in.
Oh.
Barely, but.
Stop having your dog walk up to people that come in the house or out in public. Teach your dog to sit or down politely. A lot of it is energy. So we have a 100% success rate stopping excitement, nervous, and fear-based peeing. 100% success rate. We have no special training for it other than our normal family pet dog training philosophy, which teaches dogs how to regulate their energy. An overly excited, overly aroused dog, a fearful dog, will pee. Not all of them, but the ones that do, they pee. Teach a dog to be neutral, they don't do it anymore. 100% success rate. So we've dealt with dogs where when you walk up to them, they'll pee laying down, they're so excited.
That's in Green to Graduate too.
Yep.
We had worked with a dog just like that. He was 7 months old.
Pissed everywhere.
Oh my god, so much pee. And we filmed that course live.
Yep.
It was like a piss party.
Yep. It was like
But over the course of the, what is it, 10 days we filmed,
Mhm.
it stopped.
Yep.
We just practiced so much calmness with him.
Yep. Which doesn't mean shutting down the dog. That's a big lie out there.
No,
That's
he's
like-
still doing great.
That's like saying that here's a good example. 5 years ago, I couldn't go to a beach. I felt it was a waste of time. It's for lazy people. I had too much to do. My mind was always racing. We have a house in Greece. We were just in Greece for 3 months. I went to the beach every single day and never wanted to leave. I'm not shut down. I'm not lazy. I learned how to relax. That's what your dog needs. And by the way, you can do that in less than a month.
All right, everybody. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
This was fun. We haven't done a live in a bit.
Did I miss anything, Joel?
I think we covered all the bases for sure. So
Does everybody
this
know?
is it, guys. If you can get a bond-proof place, your life will change.
You don't have any problems anymore.
Your life will change. I can't tell you how many messages we get though from owners who are like, I watched a video, I taught my dog place,
A free video.
and my life is totally different.
It wasn't even a live video. It was probably
Probably an old YouTube
probably a
video. or
12-year-old
something.
video. Probably a 12-year-old video.
Yeah. So
So everybody know Joel? Joel, come here. People might not know you.
I haven't been on the camera in a long
You
time.
will.
I'm shy. I don't get on camera these days.
Yeah, this is the
Hi,
shot.
everyone.
She's shy.
I stay behind the camera.
All right.
Okay, thank you all for being here. We love you madly and have a great Thanksgiving.
Everyone have a
Enjoy the
wonderful
holiday if you're in the
You can get
US.
this. You can absolutely get this.
Yep.
Send us your success stories.
Yeah. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.